Just something about D9 organizations and things like that are overlooked. Now, to be a part of these things, the only thing I could say is they're just not of God. It doesn't matter if they pray before, it doesn't matter if they pray after. It's just not of God. They don't center God, if that makes sense. Because you can do that now when it comes to these organizations and like trying out for them, or like seeing if you're fit, like they're making themselves God in a sense. They are seeing if you idolize them enough to give up what you have going on. So they expect you, like in undergrad, which I did not do, but in undergrad, like they are expecting you to give up your homework, give up your sleep, give up your friends, give up getting your hair done, give up your name. Like they literally have you give up your name to prove that you want to be in this. They have you in, hold on, before I even get there, because like I did grad chapter, and then I know someone who did grad chapter for like the guys on the male side, and they basically have you like give up your families, just give it all up, because they are idolizing what, like the epitome of what this is supposed to look like. I think I used that word correctly. But like what it's supposed to look like. Like they say deltas are mean women. So they try to, or mean very educated, things like that, which is already a given. But it's like they expect you to have that little stank on you. You feel me? Like that little, get out of my way. Feel me? Or like a Q. Because that's the only two I can speak on, because I've seen both of them firsthand. Because, but now a Q, they expect you to be a dog. They have, and you have to live up to that expectation. You have to live up to that. Yeah, they got all their little churchy stuff, but it's sick down to the point where like they make jokes saying that like God was the first Q was God. What? That doesn't even make sense. How was God even in an organization that didn't even exist when God was walking the earth, or Jesus was walking the earth? Doesn't make sense. But one thing that really, really, really got me was it's the aftermath. So like when you pass away and you are part of one of these organizations that, and like you live for these organizations, they have a separate service for you. So you have a regular funeral where they say like, oh, okay, you're gonna go, like you're going to heaven and things like that. But you don't even go to heaven. You don't even go to heaven. They say you don't go to heaven. Okay, how can I put this? Since you have served something else besides God, God is not going to accept you into heaven. They knew that. So they had to put a little icing on that cake, and they had to call their heaven something else, which is just another part of hell. Well, it's hell altogether. But they try to, like I said, put a little stank on it, like hell got a VIP called Omega. Let me stop before they come after me. I gotta stop before they come after me. But it's just like, I want to go to heaven. You feel me? Like, it's not of God. And people literally sell their souls to be a part of these organizations because they think it's going to make them something. Even the people, like I said, like even the people in the church. And that's why they try to make it okay because people from church are part of these organizations. No, they join these organizations because they're not happy with who they are. They are doctors, lawyers, things like that, who feel like their life is not enough with God, period, that they have to join these things. And like I said, I didn't do all of that. The people on my line, they were trying for years and years, some decades. Because, like I said, it's all ages when you do grad chapter. So they've been trying and trying and failing and trying and failing. Instead of just seeing that that's not what God wants you to do. But there are women who feel less than themselves when they get denied from these things. Like, really feeling less than. Or there are women who like make this their whole entire life. Like I said, like they feel like they're somebody because they did this. And then they go and like bring in the next line and they're proud of themselves that they were the meanest to like the new coming people, and like that's what you live for. Bringing in a new line of people into a cult and you're excited about it, to where like you're remembered as the one who beat beat one person the hardest, or yelled at somebody the loudest, or you were the one that came up with the craziest plans for them to do all this stuff to make sure that they join. Like, I don't know, it's gonna be kind of harsh, but like it just gives loser, that you look forward to like being that person. That's really lame. I'm trying to be nice, but like, because if this is really like, if it's really a sisterhood or a brotherhood, like you should just all be doing community service. Like whoever does the best service comes on. Like, what can you do to serve the community? That should be what it is. What's your idea to try to change the world? Not let me see how much I can beat you. That doesn't even make sense. And they say, oh, but you have to be broken down to be brought back up. Why? That's what's wrong with black people today. That's exactly what's wrong with black people today, especially black women. They think that they got to be broken down to nothing to feel like something. Like, what? That doesn't even make sense. But I don't know. These are things that people pay thousands of dollars and then continue to pay thousands of dollars for every year to make sure that they're still a part of it, because God forbid if they lose their membership, they're going to feel like nothing. They're going to feel less of a woman, less of a man. It don't make sense. Hearing it like that, does it make sense? No. You don't look like a better woman or a better mother, better grandmother, better anything just because you are a part of a cult. Better father, better brother, better son, better daughter because you are a part of a cult. I feel like that's when you go hard for your cult, I feel like that's a mental illness. Like when someone sees this and they're like, oh, they're talking about the organization I'm in and we have to take her down because she's talking about. Why would you even care? If you stand on them principles that y'all talk about and things like that, you shouldn't even care about what the next person says. You should be secure in it. Stand on it. It only hurts because the things that are being said are true. It's not of God. You look a mess. You're unhappy with yourself. You would feel less of a person. You need to be a part of these things to feel like a person, because you can't just go to God and walk with God. God isn't enough for you. In undergrad, like I said, like how they try to make it seem like you're paying for friends or whatever the case may be. It was like girls were like literally selling their souls to be a part of it. Like you would see them, they would be tired, exhausted. Like I was like, I know I got some bags under my eyes, but we were 18, 19, 20, and they had bags under their eyes. Like they'd be exhausted, they wouldn't be in class. Like some of them were being hazed and like just a bunch of craziness. Like, oh my gosh. So that was another reason why I didn't do it, because I'm just like, ain't nobody about to go through all of that. So when I was given the opportunity to do it for grad chapter, I was just like, oh, okay. Like, and then this is what makes it cultish. They knew that I knew that. They knew that I knew that. They knew that I was not trying to be a part of these things for years. They didn't see me in none of the meetings. They didn't see me at none of the extra things. They didn't see me at none of these things. Why? Because it wasn't important to me. I literally was just, someone saw my light, and this is where it got dangerous. Somebody saw my light and said, I want you a part of this organization. I want you with us. I want you. I don't care what your paperwork looks like. I don't care about this. I don't care about that. Turn it in. Give it to me. We're putting you on here. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. Whatever. I mean, luckily I had like all the stuff already that they were asking for. But it's just like, okay, whatever. So I go ahead, join, and I knew I was going to be the one, if that makes sense. Because now, first things first, I called it because it was like around my birthday. It's like 3 days before my birthday when we cross. See, that's another thing. You cross into something else. You cross into a whole nother world. Like, that's crazy. But it was 3 days before my birthday. I was turning 24. And the number that they gave me was 8. So I called it my little Kobe year. Something else just hit me. That was, I feel like Kobe had just passed the year before that. Anyways. Jesus. I didn't even realize. Ooh, Jesus. The other words, I'm gonna just end it right there. But we just gonna call this part 1. But yeah. So takeaway notes. D9 organizations are cults. They say they have God, but they don't. They don't, because they worship whatever thing that they do. They give all their time. They go to meetings. They pay money. Like all this craziness that they do. I have a song that says, "All of my love, all of my love. I'ma give it all. I'ma give it all to Delta. All of my love, I'ma give it all to Delta." And now that I think about it, in that song, not one time did they say they're gonna give some to God. But these are things that y'all getting beat for and trying out and trying. If you tried one time and it was a no-go, you should have just already said, I got something else on my life that ain't this. I have something bigger for my life than this. But the second that you sell your soul for it, you do all type of stuff. You moving, you lying about your address. You gotta lie. This, like I said, there's lawyers, doctors, nurses, nurse practitioners, all type of stuff in this thing. Architects. And lastly, I'm just saying real quick, if you have to be secretive, even though it's supposed to be like members only, cult, whatever, but if you have to be, well, that's what, oops. But if you have to be secretive of the things that you do to be a part of this coven, because a coven is just a group of people. But if you have to be secretive with your bylaws and all this extra stuff, you shouldn't have no business doing it. Because when it comes to worshiping God, what is the secret to worshiping God? There isn't one. The Bible is everywhere. You go to any store, grab a Bible. You can go on any website, grab a Bible. You can go anywhere. You can go on Google, grab a Bible. But when it comes to these organizations and their guidelines and bylaws or whatever, like there's a book, I have a book somewhere. I lost it actually because it didn't mean anything to me. But if you can't just buy it anywhere, you ain't got no business doing nothing with it. You ain't got no business doing nothing with it. It ain't it. And I wish more people would like realize that. I realized it. And I ain't have to do no big old, I'm denouncing video and look at me. Like, no. I just left group chats and started minding my business. And if they started minding my business for me, that's on them. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But all I've been doing is minding my business away from them folks. Like mine is literally like it's a slow leave. I just pray that more people decide to like wake up and like just leave it alone. And God will lead you to your people. People who know me, my story, they know that God is enough for me. Until He want to send my husband and everything else. But God has always been enough. But I don't know. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a person with their own mind. I don't know. But that's all I got because my lips be crusty. I ain't put no chapstick on. And I'm just a yapping away.